Everyone is making money off of your money, but you. That is right. I'm telling you the truth. Everybody is making more money off of your money, but you. Most likely, if you're watching anything on YouTube, most likely you're probably a hardworking individual. That is most likely the truth, and which is good. Whether you own your own business, whether you have a 9 to 5, and whether it's a really tough 9 to 5 where you're digging ditches or doing construction, or you're a nurse or any of those things, the odds are really high because there's just more of us. That's just how it works. So most likely, whoever you are, everyone else is making money off of the money that you have except for you. So I'm going to explain that. I constantly talk about how money is not real. And I had somebody just recently ask me who knows me. He also watches our videos, and he was like, hey, man, you say it a lot, the money isn't real, but I don't understand the concept because I can pull my wallet out and there's money in it. I can take it to the store and I can buy goods with it. There's numbers in my bank account. He's like, and I can move those numbers to another account and pay my bills. So I was like, yes, the concept of money is very real. We have a concept of money. We all agree, we all mutually decide to agree that this paper, these coins, these numbers in this account all have value, and that if we trade them for something, we are getting something of value for the thing that we are trading. So we have this concept of money, and the concept of money is very real. That being said, if we jump to the very end of the spectrum, or what most people think is the very end of the spectrum, I hate to break it to you guys, billionaires are not the end of the spectrum. And for all of you that think that billionaires are running the world, no, they're fucking not. Billionaires are nobodies as well. We just know who they are. Anyways, we jump to the spectrum that we're most familiar with, which is billionaires. Isn't it odd that if you round up the usual suspects, and I don't care which one you personally like, if you Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Cuban, Donald Trump, that's a good one. Elon Musk, he's a popular one of mine to use. Doesn't matter which billionaire you want to use. Most likely, this billionaire has no money. They don't have any money. Now, yeah, they might have an account that has some money in it. By comparison to what they fucking are worth though, it's nothing. It would be the equivalent of like you having all of your money in your bank account except for your emergency 20 or your emergency $100 bill. That's like the equivalent for them. So even if somebody like fucking Jeff Bezos, who's worth hundreds of billions of dollars, even if he has a couple billion in a bank account, to him that's nothing. By comparison to his actual worth, he doesn't really have any money in the account. That's like emergency money, or if in case I want to buy an island money. So they don't have any money. What they have is value in their company that they own, and then they offset, they leverage that value of their company towards a loan against the value. And as long as the value goes up, the value of the company actually pays off the loan. They get money for free. They get money for free. They've learned how to leverage their money, their value of what they have, their money, and get more money for free. So let's go, that's just on that kind of spectrum, right? That's to understand. I'm just trying to give you an idea of how money doesn't really exist the way you think it does before we get to, now actually we'll switch. This is how everybody is making money off of your money, but you. You have been trained to think and believe that saving money is smart. It is the way to go. Save, 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 and you will save your way into prosperity into the future. That is highly inaccurate. You need to do something with your money. You need to be making your money move in some way in order to make yourself a prosperous future. That is a fact. You are not going to save yourself into prosperity. That will never happen. So we're going to use the two ways that for sure people are making money off of your money is banks, the government, and entrepreneurs. They're making money off of your money. And I'm going to explain how. The banks tax every single fucking dollar you ever touch. They have taxed every single dollar into infinity. In truth be told, every dollar has been taxed so many times that the dollar itself is actually of a negative value if you try to think about that. How many times it's been taxed, it actually has a negative value. But either which way, the government is making money off of your money because every time you take or move a dollar, it gets taxed. It was taxed by the person who gave it to your boss. It was to your employer. It was your employer got taxed. You got taxed when it was given to you. You get taxed when you give it to somebody else for a goods. It doesn't matter what you do. That money is getting fucking taxed into infinity. So the government is making money off of your money. That's crazy. You think, okay, I'm going to put my money, I'm going to save my money. I'm going to do a really good job. Man, I live off of, let's say you're doing really good and you live off 30% of your fucking income, right? Because that's what millionaires do. They live off 30% of their income. And you're just putting it into a savings account. The banks who will teach you that saving money is the way to go don't save that money. They don't do that. What they do is they keep a certain amount on hand that they legally have to have. I believe it's 10%. And then they loan out the other 90%. So what they do is they give you a tiny little interest rate on your money that usually is offset by the monthly fees that you have to pay. So for them, it's a zero. It's a flat line. They didn't lose any money. They didn't make any money right there. But they got your money for free that you believe is safe because it's with them, right? The thing is they take 90% of that money and they loan it out. And then they make a massive interest rate off of the loans and the credit that they lend out based on the security of the money that you gave them. Now credit, I believe credit cards are something insane. Anybody that's got a loan, you know loans are not fucking great. You know, the interest rates, they're variable and stuff like that. But if you have a credit card, you've ever had to pay interest on credit card, I think the average is something like 20 something to 30% is the average. You're getting fucking cracked. That's money. If you have a credit card and all your money is sitting in somebody's bank account and they gave you a credit card and you paid any kind of interest rate on that fucking credit card at any time, you actually paid against the money that they're holding for you. That's how that works. The credit card is secured by the money that everybody's agreeing to give to the banks, which they don't have. That's why it's called a run on a bank. If all of a sudden everybody decided that they wanted to go get their money back and they go do a run on the banks do not have the money to give it back. It's why the government has to federally ensure that they'll make people whole up into a certain degree. They don't have the money. So the banks are telling you and getting you to think and believe that saving money is the way to go, yet the banks themselves don't save the money. They lend it out. Banks are not in the business of holding and storing money. They do not do that. They are in the business of buying and selling securities. That is what they're doing. The government is taxing your shit. The banks are lending your shit out for money that they don't give you a chunk of. They don't give you shit. You don't get no money. They are making money off of your money for free, oftentimes from you. Now, so that's two people. That's the government and the fucking banking system fucking cracking you. Now, how are entrepreneurs getting your money? How are they making money off of your money? Because who's getting most of those loans? Yes, they do car loans. That's not the ones that I'm talking about because you're just getting cracked for your car loan. Yes, they do house loans. That's not what I'm talking about because you're just getting cracked for your house loan. I'm not talking about any of those things. I'm talking about the people that utilize that money to make more money, to do something more, to make the economy move forward, and even in a small fashion, even if it's just for them, but it gets a revenue stream going for the bank itself. So entrepreneurs are going to these banks and they're like, hey, I have this business plan. I have this business model. I have already done this. I've already done this. I've already done this. And as long as that extremely long fucking checklist of things are fucking all signed off, T's are crossed, I's are dotted, everything's good, they give them that money. Now, entrepreneurs are not fucking stupid. They don't save their money. Entrepreneurs do not save their money because they recognize that money sitting still is money that's not doing them any good. So they are not in that system at all. They don't have money in the bank just sitting there unless it's your money which has been loaned to them to do a specific thing with. So I want you to think about this. The people at the highest ends, money, it doesn't exist in the way that you think it does. They don't care about actual dollar bills. They just fucking don't. They only care about the value of the companies that they own and how they're able to leverage it for actual money to get them the things that they need. But they don't have money. Money is not what they actually have. When we say somebody has $100 billion, we mean they own the value of things that equals up to $100 million or $100 billion, whatever it is. So money doesn't exist in terms like they want you to think it does when you get to the higher echelons. That's strange. Governments are making money off of every fucking dollar that you fucking have ever touched. They're making money off of your money. The banks are taking the money that you're giving them freely and loaning it out. and making money off of your money. They're also giving it to entrepreneurs who are utilizing your money to make their dreams come true. Somebody else is using the money that you worked hard for to make their dreams come true, while the other two institutions are funding themselves. So think about this. I want you to really, really, really think about this. If everybody else is utilizing your money to make their shit happen for them, why do you think it is a good idea to have your money sitting in a bank account? Why would you possibly think that? And it doesn't matter. You can have it sit in a bank account. You can have it sitting in a high yield, high interest rate, high yield return. You could do the stocks. You could do all these things. And if you're willing to, put in to it until you're, for 30, 40 years, you can just that system over 30, 40 years, whatever it's going to be, set yourself up for a pretty, a moderately comfortable financial future. That can't happen. You can't do that. But most of you have these dreams, you say. Most of you are like, man, I would love to do this. Man, I want to do that. Man, I have this good idea. Man, this one thing would be cool. But you don't do any of it because you're afraid to spend your money. The one thing that nobody else cares about, because they're either making money off of it they're making money off of your money, or they're in a position, they've worked so hard, they put themselves in a position that the money no longer matters. Now, getting from where you're getting cracked on all ends to the point where money doesn't matter requires that you spend your money. It's going to require that. You're going to have to find something that is worthwhile for you to put your money into. Investing in yourself and investing in your future is going to make you feel like you're broke, but it's actually making you rich. You got to get rid of this idea that money sitting in an account makes you feel good, makes you feel comfortable. That money is losing money. That's the other part. You've got $10,000. The fucking pandemic was a good one. Man, if you had $10,000 before the pandemic, I don't care, we could go 100. If you had $100,000 sitting in the bank account before the pandemic, and that same $100,000 sitting in there now, it is worth so much less. The actual spending power of that money, it still says the same denomination, $100,000. What you can actually still buy with that $100,000 is much less than what it used to be, and that's less than a decade ago. That is less than a decade ago, and your money depreciated that fucking fast, that fucking hard. You have to get in the concept of making your money move your life forward. You have to get in the concept of making your money move. Money is meant to move. It's just like water. When it sits still, it gets stagnant. That is not the way you want to go. You have to get in this mindset. Money isn't real. Money is not real. You have to figure out how to use your money and the money you got coming in and then the value of the things that you own in order to use it as leverage to get more into the future. If you can't figure out how to figure that out, then you're going to stay in the situation that you're in for life. You have to figure this out. Keep in mind, everyone is making money off of your money but you, if it's just sitting in a savings account.